guys and girls, welcome to your writing lesson today. Let's begin with our learning target. I can write using reasons to support my opinion. An opinion is what you think, feel, or believe, and an opinion is what helps you make a choice. Remember that your opinion belongs to you, and as long as you have supporting reasons and examples and details to back up why you feel, think, or believe the way you do, then that is fine. That your opinion does not match your friends, maybe even your brothers or sisters or your parents. So an opinion belongs to you, and it's what you think, feel, or believe. We are currently writing an opinion essay on your favorite candy. We are we have been constantly revising it every single day, learning new ways to add details. Today we're going to learn how to add transition words to help our writing better flow. It's important for your opinion essays and any of your writing, your personal narratives, even your informational stories that you write, to have transition words. This is what helps your readers flow from beginning to end a lot easier. It also helps when you use transition words to change from one idea to another idea. So while opinion writing, when we go from one reason to another reason, we definitely need to use some kind of transition words. Let's look at some examples of some transition words. So normally, like if you're writing a personal narrative essay and you're telling a story that has a beginning, middle, and an end, you might start with some of these words right here in the beginning. First, once, one time, initially, in the beginning, it started when, one day, one morning, one night. And then you would go to the middle. Also, next, soon, later, suddenly, second, during. And then you would go to the end, last, finally, in the end, at last, eventually. Now, when you're opinion writing, though, these transition words are a little bit different. Let's look at what I'm talking about. So we know when you're writing your opinion essay, you need to begin by saying your opinion. So one way to do that is you could say, in my opinion, I think, I feel, I believe, I prefer. Or if you're writing about your favorite candy or favorite restaurant or favorite subject in school, you might say my favorite. Now you should have already done this part, even though we didn't talk about it being a transition. Those really are transitions that get your opinion started and stated correctly. So now what we're going to work on doing is looking at some ways to start your reasons off. Some transitions to let your readers know that you're about to tell them the reasons of your opinion. You could say first, to start, to begin with. When you get to your second reason, you might say second, next, or another reason. When you get to your last reason, you might say finally, lastly, most importantly, one last reason. These are ways to begin your reasons: first reason, second reason, and third reason. Once you get your reasons started off with a transition, your examples and your details need to start off with a transition as well. Some ways to do that: to further prove your point or to prove your opinion, you might say, for example, for instance, in particular, specifically, additionally, in other words, in fact, or you could just say an example is. And then finally, when you're coming to an end and you've already stated your opinion, you've already given all of your reasons and your examples, and you want to end your writing, you need a conclusion transition. You might say, in conclusion, all in all, as you can see, to sum it up, to summarize, or finally. Now, there's many more ways that you can use transition words in your writing. These are just a few that I found that I think that are most common and that we're going to try to use the best that we can. Before we start adding transitions to our writing, though, let's look at a mentor text and see what transitions they used in their opinion essays. The title of this essay is Movies Are Best When You Watch Them at Home. Now, as I read, I want you to pay attention to transitions in their opinion, transitions in their reasons and examples, and then a transition in their conclusion. All right, let's check it out. So I'll read it first, and then we'll go back and highlight any transitions that we notice. Do you like going to the movies? Some people think that going to the movies is so much fun. However, I think watching a movie at home is the best way to watch a movie. One reason why I love watching movies at home is because it's more comfortable than the movie theater. When I watch a movie at home, I get in my comfy pajamas, I grab the pillows off my bed and put them in a pile. Next, I grab my big fluffy blanket, then I curl up in my pile of pillows. Finally, I'm ready to watch my movie. It's much more relaxing than going to the movies. Another reason that it's better to watch a movie at home is because you have control of the movie. If you need to use the bathroom, you can pause it. Also, you can hit pause if you need more popcorn. You don't miss any of the movie that way. Finally, if you watch a part of the movie that's funny, you can go back and watch it again. You can't do those things if you go to the movies. Clearly, I believe that watching a movie at home is better than going to the movie theaters. Next time you want to watch a movie, what will you choose? Will you go see it in theaters, or will you sit back, relax, and watch it at home? All right, so let's go grab our highlighter, and let's go back. Let's see if we can see some transitions. Do you like going to the movies? Some people think that going to the movies is so much fun. However, here we go. Oops. Let's make that a little bit smaller. I think watching a movie at home is the best way to watch a movie. So starting your opinion off with a I think, I feel, I believe, my opinion is, those are transitions that get your readers' brains go ahead and thinking about your opinion. One reason why I love watching movies at home is because it's more comfortable than the movie theater. So right here, one reason. That's an easy way just to go ahead and let your readers know that this is your first reason. When I watch a movie at home, I get in my comfy pajamas. I grab the pillows off my bed and I put them in a pile. Look right here. It says next. There's a transition word. Then. And finally. All of those are transition words that kind of make sure that your reader is reading in order and following the right track when trying to understand your reasons. Another reason. There's our next transition for reason number 2. Then it's better to watch a movie at home is because you have control of the movie. If you need to use the bathroom, you can pause it. Also, you can hit pause if you need more popcorn. You don't have to miss seeing the movie that way. Finally, if you watch a part of the movie that's funny, you can go back and rewatch it. You can't do those things if you go to the movies. So, one reason, and then gave our examples. Another reason, then gave our examples. Let's look at the conclusion. Clearly, I believe. So, there we go. I believe that watching a movie at home is better than going to the movies theaters. Next time you want to watch a movie, what will you choose? Will you go see it in theaters, or will you sit back, relaxed, and watch it at home? So I want you to notice that up here in the first paragraph, we need to make sure we have a transition about our opinion. We should already have that, but today we're going to go back and make sure we did not forget it. In your paragraph 2, this is your first reason. You need to have some sort of transition to begin your reason, and you need a transition to begin your examples, okay? Just like they did. One reason, next, then, and finally. In paragraph 3, you should have your second reason. This writer said another reason. And then finally, in your conclusion, you're going to restate your opinion using one of those transition starters that we saw back on this page right here. So in conclusion, you got I believe, I think, I feel. So now what we're going to do is I want to go to my essay. I'm going to change colors here. Let me get a smaller pen so that I can edit and revise. So I want to make sure that each of my paragraphs has some sort of transition that keeps my writing flowing from beginning to end and changes from one reason to the next clearly. Do you like the taste of sweet, ooey gooey caramel and sour green apples mixed together? Then you would love caramel apple pops. In my opinion. All right, so there, let me get my highlighter. So in my opinion, there's our first, that transition gets my readers ready for my opinion. Caramel apple pops are the best candy ever. Now, the first reason I believe that, so there we go. The first reason I believe that caramel apple pops are the best is because they have yummy caramel on the outside. And then I even use this transition for example, and I'm further explaining my reason. What makes that caramel so yummy. Next, I said another reason. There we go. There's my transition. Another reason I think caramel apple pops are the best is because they are seasonal and are only sold at one time of the year. This means every year on Halloween, I get so elated to look on the candy shelves for caramel apple pops because that is the only time of year you can purchase them in stores. Now, I introduced my reason, but I did not transition into my example. So I'm going to go back to the anchor chart. So I'm going to look right here for providing examples and details. I've already said, for example, so I'm going to choose another way to start my transition for my examples. I'm going to say, let's see, I can say, for instance, in particular, specifically, additionally, in other words, in fact, an example is. So let's try. Now, some of these might not make sense. So if you try one that doesn't really make sense, then go and take it out and put another one in. Let's try in other words. I've heard people say that. Let's see if it makes sense. In other words, so I'm going to get my pencil. So another reason I think caramel apple pops are the best is because they are seasonal and are only sold at one time of the year. So now I need to explain it. So I'm going to say, in other words, let's get it. In other words, this means every year around Halloween, I get so elated to look on the candy shelves for caramel apple pops because that is the only time of year you can purchase them in stores. So there we go. So I added a transition to explain my example. Now let's check out my conclusion and make sure that I have a transition. Here we go. Some people disagree and think that blow pops are the best. They say they are better than caramel apple pops because they have bubblegum on the inside. However, I still think, here we go, I still think caramel apple pops are the most delicious candy because it's made of two wonderful treats in one. All right, so there we did it. My first paragraph, my last paragraph, and my second paragraph already had the transitions that I needed. I did have to add one into my second reason in paragraph 3. So now it is your turn. I want you to revisit your opinion essay on your favorite candy. This should be written on notebook paper, and you should have been constantly editing and revising this as we've been working through these little mini lessons together. Today, I want you to look for places in your opening, your reason number 1, reason number 2, and conclusion, and as well as examples. And I want you to add some transition words to help make your writing flow. Now, I will be including the anchor chart on the sentence starters so that you can refer back to that as much as you need to. Remember, do not erase. I want you to use arrows just as I did and include those, go back and add and include those transitions in without erasing because we don't want you to forget what you had written down, okay? All right, if you get stuck, give me a call. I'm here for you, and I hope you have a super duper day. Happy writing.